contestant had a choice of 3 curtains. Behind one of the curtains was the grand prize, they called it the big deal. Behind the other 2 curtains were lesser prizes, and in some cases the booby prize, which on the show was called the zonk. Obviously, the contestant wanted to pick the big prize. In our case, it's a little backwards. We're just trying to avoid the zonk. So I'm going to have you guess, which one of these curtains do you think the zonk is underneath? The middle, okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to set it over here, where I can't get hurt, okay? Now, at this point, what happens is the game show host will open one of the other 2 unselected curtains to demonstrate that the zonk, well, the grand prize in their case, is not behind it. So which one of these curtains would you like me to open? This one? Okay, here we go. You're sure? I'm messing with it. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so far so good. All right. Now, recap. You selected that bag because you thought that it probably had the zonk in it. Okay? Common sense would tell us there's a 50-50 chance you're right. So, it could be in here, it could be in there. But actually, according to the Monty Hall problem, there's actually a 2/3 probability that the broken bottle is in this bag. So the smart thing to do would be to switch bags, okay? The dumb thing to do would be to smash my hand down on this bag. So keeping in mind how irritated you are at me about the gorilla thing, would you like me to do the smart thing and switch bags, or the dumb thing and stay with this bag here? I should do the smart thing. Well, you're kinder than most people. You're really kind. Okay, so, all right, so you want me to, I'm going to, boy, I had a whole bunch of gags written in case you hadn't. No, I'm kidding. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to smash my hand down on this one. You ready? Wait a minute. Is that what I'm supposed to do? You want me to switch? Yes, okay, all right, we'll see if math works or not. Here we go. Very nice. Indeed, math works. Thank you very much for your kind assistance. I appreciate it. Now, here you go. Well, now, that was fun, except for the fact that she did not really get any kind of revenge on me. So we're gonna rectify that situation right now with a little demonstration here. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news lately, but there's an awful lot of protesting going on around the world these days for some reason. And sometimes these protesters actually get a little overly ambitious and set themselves on fire. I don't recommend doing that, okay? If you are so inclined to do something like that, I'll show you like an only slightly less dramatic alternative here. So I'm going to pretend to be a protester. So I'm a protester. I don't like what you're doing, so I'm going to protest it. You better stop what you're doing, or else I'm going to do this. You really don't want me to do this, do you? Well, you better. Well, I'm going to do this because I'm a protester. Okay? Just ever so. Just. That's really nasty. Don't let my demeanor fool you. This really hurts. But, you know, we should be able to fix it. Because it is a magic show after all. Would anyone else like to try? Ghosts and werewolves haunt New Orleans, Louisiana. But the city is best known as the home of voodoo. In the 1830s, voodoo queen Marie Laveau was a humble hairdresser by day, but at night she was revered as a healer and a miracle worker. Of course, she was also feared lest she placed a curse upon you. Now, Ms. Laveau's skills were often called upon for matters of the heart, if you will. There was a wealthy old man who fell in love with loved the young girl and asked her to marry him. But alas, she was already in love with a young man who had shipped off to the West Indies. The girl's father wanted her to marry the wealthy old man, so he and the old man conspired together in vain to see if they could make her fall in love with him. Finally, I think out of perhaps desperation, they consulted with Marie Laveau, who guaranteed them that the girl would marry the old man. Of course, this involved a love potion. Ms. Laveau mixed up her magic tincture in a clean and empty cauldron. First, she selected some isopropyl or rubbing alcohol. And it is. The next ingredient was copper sulfate. The next ingredient was something that many of our grandparents had in their medicine cabinets before it was banned for home usage by the FDA. Mercurochrome. My grandpa used to call it red medicine. Now, of course, at the time, people of bad faith believed that she was actually pouring human blood. Now, it wouldn't be proper hoodoo or conjure unless there were a slightly unsavory ingredient. Don't like this part. That was a spider. And then finally, the last ingredient was some crushed and powdered chicken bones. Of course, the profane suggested that she was actually using ground up human bones. After making her mixture, I'm certain that Ms. Laveau offered an appropriate invocation over top of her concoction. After all, she was a good Catholic girl. Now, after 2 weeks, it worked. The girl agreed to marry the old man. At their wedding reception, during the dance of the first dance of the bride and groom, the old man turned purple, collapsed on the dance floor, and died. The young girl inherited his fortune and went on to marry her lover when he returned from the West Indies, and they lived happily ever after. The old man, by contrast, learned a difficult lesson. If you rely on